Hi, I'm Dory, and today I am drawing a portrait of my grandparents. This is my father's mother and father, and I did make a video about these people specifically sometime early this year or last year or something like that. But if you watch that video, you'll remember that my grandma and grandpa both passed away recently. I did this portrait as a gift. I gave it as a Christmas gift to my father, and I also made a print and I gave it to my uncle, my dad's brother. When my uncle Mark, when he got the drawing, he joked that he was going to cut it in half and frame the picture of his mom and put the picture of his dad on a dartboard. So right away you have to know that they didn't exactly get along. I mean, everybody loved my grandma. My grandma was an incredibly sweet person. And unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about her, to be honest. I know that my dad looks like her, and so do I a little. I know that she was very sweet, and I know that she suffered from obsessive compulsive disorder in her life. I know that she had a very sad life, and I know that a lot of the sadness in her life is my grandfather's fault. I talked a lot about it in the video I posted before, but long story short, my grandfather was an alcoholic. He used to beat my grandma up. He used to beat his kids, my dad, my uncle, and my aunt. I think more my dad and my uncle. And yeah, there was a lot of bad feelings there. My grandma stayed with him. She ended up getting dementia and having a very just a kind of a sad end to her life. And after she passed away, my grandfather, long story short, basically killed himself with grief and remorse. So it's a very, very sad situation. And it's something very sad and traumatic that my family did go through and is kind of still recovering from, to be honest. And yeah, so I when it came down to it, I knew I wanted to draw this portrait. I knew I wanted to, memorialize these people because they did exist and their story did happen, and it is a very important thing that has impacted my family. And I know that my father absolutely just adored his mom. He loved his mom so much, and I wanted him to have a picture of his parents. I don't know. So I did draw this, and it was appreciated. They did like the drawing very much. I think my dad more than my uncle. I think my uncle still has a lot of very, very, very bitter memories of his father, and is probably never going to let that go. And I debated, I really did, whether or not I should just draw grandma or if I should put them together. And in the end, obviously, I decided to draw them both. But it was a hard decision. I really was torn. But they were together. I think they got together when she was like 16 or something. It was like she'd been with him for basically her entire existence, and she did rely on him, and obviously she put up with some absolutely horrific abuse. And I did talk a lot about that abuse in the other video that I made. And I'm not going to go into the details of the domestic violence that she suffered. And I'm not going to talk about my grandpa's suicide very much. I'm not going to go into all those details. I've already talked about it, and there's no point in talking about it again. But it's, yeah. It shows that she put up with a lot, and that his presence in her life really did define her existence as a human. And I don't know, I felt like taking him away from her was wrong somehow. I don't know. It just does. It's hard to explain. Situations like this are always hard to explain. But yeah. So this is my grandma and my grandpa. And I mean, absolutely no disrespect to them or their memories. I really do try. I did try to draw them. You know, I picked a very nice photo of them to draw, and I tried to show them at one of their happier moments, you know, because even in situations that are abusive and are horrible, you know, people do stay together because there are those moments that make you happy. So, you know, even though her existence was a very sad one, I did try to focus on the fact that she did have happy moments. I'm explaining this so poorly, but yeah. So I am drawing this with charcoal pencils. I really have gotten very much more into charcoal. I really thought, you know, if you'd have told me this time last year that I would be more into charcoal than I was in graphite, I would have probably laughed at you, because I was so obsessed with graphite this time last year. But it really kind of does show how I am evolving as I try different materials and really give things a different, you know, give things a shot. I really have become very obsessed with charcoal, and I don't know. I don't know if I really like graphite as much as I used to. So, I mean, I obviously still love graphite, but I think charcoal might have taken its place in my heart. Just a little bit. So, but yeah, I'm very excited. I'm hoping that I can be trying some new art materials. I actually have a goal this year to learn digital art, which is a huge step for me, because I've tried something like Photoshop and I could not figure it out. Like a couple times I've given it kind of a shot and I wasn't able to figure it out, and I got very frustrated and overwhelmed by it and I gave up. And I want to be able to animate things. I want to be able to draw things digitally. There's a lot of things that I want to be able to do. I just have to figure out the software, and I have to be able to do that part of it, because I know the art part I can do. I can do the drawing part. That's not a problem. I just have to figure out the software part. So that's my goal. I'm going to try a new material, give it a chance, see how much I love it. I actually received a very nice drawing tablet for my birthday, and I've tried using it a couple times, and the tablet is beautiful and it works really well. I just can't figure out the software. So yeah, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time probably looking at YouTube tutorials and really desperately trying to figure out how to use this stuff and trying to figure it out on my own. And I guess, I mean, that's worked for me in the past. That's how I taught myself charcoal and how I taught myself how to draw portraits. I've taught myself all this stuff on my own, so why not digital art, right? I just have to not get frustrated. That's the key. I have to be as patient with software as I am with art materials, and just see it as an art material rather than technology. I think that's where I get mixed up. But yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of how this drawing turned out. I'm glad that I did it, because it's done and it's not gonna torture me anymore. I'm not gonna be stressed about how to format it, who to put in the picture, and all the complicated questions that came along with this drawing. So that's nice that that's over with, but it's just good. I've finished their story in my mind, if that makes sense. I've given myself the closure that I needed to give by completing this drawing. So I'm wondering if any of you guys have ever wanted to work on a very personal project, but you know, you kind of struggled in the same way that I did. You know, you weren't really sure what to include, what would be too much, what would be offensive, what would be welcome in the art, you know, how to format your thoughts in a way that would be meaningful. You know, what process did you go through when creating artwork similar to this portrait, where the material was very sensitive? How did you approach it? What was your method? What in the end did you include? And do you think me including my grandfather in this drawing, do you think that was an appropriate thing to do? If you think I should have left him out, let me know. Yeah. I guess I should let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this, and thanks for listening to me rant and ramble about my family and the complicated situations we face every day. Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you later. If you like this, leave a like, and don't forget to comment down below. If you haven't yet, subscribe, because yeah, if you liked this is pretty much what I do. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.